Welcome to the Driver's Line. I'm Greg.
And I'm Jordan.
And today, we've got a conversation for you.
That's right. This conversation is kind of a spin-off of our last Halloween episode, which was Franken-Car, where we built cars for each other to make them scary and just truly awful.
Yeah, completely tragic. And so we're going to take that, turn it on its head, and this time we're building the $6 billion car. And so we're building cars for ourselves using that same methodology, but we're doing the best of the best. Any part from any car in the world to build the best car for yourself.
That's right. So we're focusing on four main areas, and that is the best chassis, the best engine, the best styling and body style, and best interior.
That's right. So, without further ado, do you want to get us started?
Sure thing. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, naturally, this is called the driver's line.
Yes, naturally.
So the car I built is really just sport focused with a touch of luxury.
That sounds very familiar to mine.
Okay, well, you know.
we like what we like. We can't help it, right? I mean, this is what we like. We like something that is going to be comfortable to drive long distances, but sporty when you want it to be sporty, and luxury when you want it to be luxury. I mean, that is literally the best of all worlds.
You got it.
I did not concern utility on mine, so I don't know if you did on yours.
I didn't pick a van.
Yeah.
I know, shocking.
Wow. I figured it was going to be like a Previa with like a P1 underneath or something like that.
It's tempting. It's tempting. But sacrifices had to be made, right?
Okay.
So this is kind of funny because I'm talking about sacrifices. Meanwhile, it's a $6 billion.
Yeah, I know,
car.
that's $6 billion car. Yeah.
All right. So starting off with the chassis, right? The bones. All right. I don't think that there is a company that does chassis work better, maybe, than Ferrari. Ferrari is a race car brand. They know exactly what they're doing. When I'm talking about, I want the pinnacle of sports carness. Ferrari is synonymous with that, right? So I chose the Ferrari SF90 chassis because it is carbon fiber heavy, but has some aluminum components. It's pretty lightweight. And what I've actually done is taken out some of the electrical components from that because it is a hybrid, and I'll be honest, I don't need that. So we're actually making it even lighter weight. My car is actually going to end up being below 3,000 pounds with the modifications I've made. So I think that for a chassis standpoint, I think it's a great starting off juncture.
It's not bad, not bad. And of course, I love the SF90, so
Yeah,
I can't complain too much to that choice. But you know, so under 3,000 pounds, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, mine has a dry weight of 2,600 pounds.
Wow.
And it's a carbon fiber monocoque designed by a brand that is leading the Constructors' Championship in Formula One over Ferrari right now, my friend.
Pshaw.
So I have taken the chassis from the McLaren Senna.
Yes, that's a great
which
pick.
is the lightest weight McLaren they make.
Those were the two options. I was going between McLaren and
So again,
Ferrari.
just a fantastic chassis. I mean, this car was designed for the greatest racing car driver of modern times, and just embodies everything about McLaren that makes it special, and completely lightweight. So again, that goes back to the ethos of Lotus and Colin Chapman, you know, simplify and add lightness. And this is going to give me the best platform to start building the rest of my $6 billion car around.
I think that's a great pick. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go wrong with a McLaren chassis. Honestly, let's be real. And
we both set the bar high on our first choice here.
True. Well, and what's great about your pick is you don't actually have to look at the Senna.
I know the Senna's not particularly an attractive car. I mean, extremely functional. I mean, this is definitely where, you know, form has followed function with the Senna.
Yeah,
but I didn't want that.
You know,
I
don't blame you.
Because I want something a little bit more beautiful.
I like where you're going with this.
Yes.
All right. So connected to that chassis, naturally, we need a powertrain, right? So I'm very curious where you went with this, but I went a little old school style. All right. So naturally, I kind of mentioned earlier that I'm not trying to do a hybrid supercar. We're not doing that. Not only that, I didn't even want any forced induction, guys. I went naturally aspirated.
Ooh.
Because to me, that speaks to the soul of things. And it's becoming increasingly rare to see that, right? Mm-hmm. So that is special. What also makes something even more special is big numbers. Because I'm American. So do I want 4 cylinders?
No.
No, of course not. Do I want a hybrid super turbocharged V6. Ferrari, we don't want that. An 8-cylinder wouldn't be too bad.
Not bad.
10 cylinders?
That's pretty good too.
That's pretty good. How about 12?
Even better.
Yeah. But 16's even better than that. That's right. I'm taking the V16 out of the new Bugatti Tourbillon, which is naturally aspirated, and I'm going to drop it right into that Ferrari chassis. And not only that, that's actually going to be saving me weight compared to the engine and powertrain that's currently in that Ferrari SF90. That's right, we're talking about 1,000 horsepower, all naturally aspirated, and 664 pound-feet of torque, and something that weighs less than 3,000 pounds.
Oh. So nice, beginner numbers, I guess. I feel like that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. It's all about the numbers here, not about the soul. Okay,
well,
let's see.
I too chose a V12.
A V12?
Naturally aspirated.
I chose a V16.
I know. Well,
Okay.
you chose a V16. I chose a V12.
Okay.
Naturally aspirated.
Okay.
Makes 1,000 horsepower.
Uh-huh.
But it's a hybrid. Oh. And so it makes an extra 160 horsepower thanks to the hybrid engine. This, of course, is the powertrain out of the Aston Martin Valkyrie.
Good pick. Good pick.
Which is a car that was designed by Adrian Newey, who is one of the best designers in the world.
The Valkyrie is fantastic.
Yes.
I mean,
and I've taken his
every way.
powertrain and put it in the chassis of a McLaren Senna.
This is so weird.
And this is going to be an absolute monster.
Yeah,
and so I wanted the hybrid just for that instantaneous power, because when you have a high revving V12, you're going to have, it's going to really start making its power at the higher end of the spectrum, right? So you just need that little bit of kick from that electric motor just to get it in there. I was really thinking hard about taking the engine out of the Cadillac Le Mans car.
Oh, that is a good one. That sounds so mean.
I know. But I was like, I would annoy every single person that I went by. And so I think this one has the capability of being slightly quieter than that Le Mans racing engine.
Yeah, and you probably wouldn't have to rebuild it every 200 miles.
Exactly, every 500 miles. It needs a complete rebuild.
Yeah.
So this one, might need rebuild every 1,500 miles. But it's fine.
Yeah, it's like
totally
Porsche.
fine. Totally fine. Not a Porsche.
Tough spot. All right, anyway, moving on.
So 1,160 horsepower total output.
All right, wonderful.
Which is more than yours. And lighter weight.
I haven't actually calculated the weight. It could be less than yours. Probably not. Probably not. Well, it's hard because Ferrari doesn't actually give its engine weight specifics. I couldn't find the actual weight without.
That's true. I couldn't find
the
the hybrid component because it's got the 1.3 kilowatt hour Rimac KERS system, so it also regenerates.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But that all adds weight, so I'm going to be porking up my Senna a little bit. But
yeah. Well, I was just when I was reading about the V16, I was surprised to learn it was only just over 500 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, which is really light. Yeah. For a V16.
That's a lot of block and cylinders, right?
Is, yeah. All right. And it's 8.3 liters. It's not like a little tiny
small.
one. No.
Not small.
It's a big block. All right. So we have our chassis. We have our engine. Let's work on the inside of the car.
All right.
All right. So when I think of a car that is a sports car that I want to deal with every day, because ultimately I'm going to be driving this a lot, right? It's my $6 billion car. It needs to treat me in some luxury, but also not be too ostentatious. And I felt like the best company that does supercar interiors, because you can't just pick a Rolls Royce interior for a supercar. It just doesn't work.
You're going to be sitting on the couch and
exactly.
then you're not going to be able to take a turn because you're just going to slide right off. Yeah. I thought about that too because it's the best interiors are Rolls Royce, but sitting on a cushy Connolly leather seat isn't going to get the job done.
That double pile carpet.
Yeah.
So I went with another British brand, Aston Martin, because their interiors are timeless. They're high quality. Everything is made from leather and metal. There's no plastic to be found. And they look beautiful for decades and decades on.
Yes.
So I think Aston does a great job with that. And I don't have to worry about electronics breaking, right? We're good.
Yeah, totally good.
Yeah.
British car company, electronics, fantastic. Yeah, no, I mean it's hard. Like, I mean, it feels like the interior of an Aston Martin feels like a finely made glove.
Yeah,
you know, just like a nice like lambskin leather glove, and it just feels fantastic. Everything you touch is high quality. Yes. Like the cross of that glove in like a cigar smoking lounge, right? Yeah. Like where you're gonna smoke with all your rich friends.
Exactly.
And just really nice. I mean, everything you touch is high quality. It's either leather, Alcantara, metal, right? Like or wood. Like I even put wood in, I guess, the DB9.
Yeah.
But just, I mean, a wonderful place to be.
Absolutely.
So I too chose a wonderful place to be.
Okay.
I think it's equally as good as yours.
Okay.
I went with the interior out of the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport.
Very nice.
So, you know, the thing I love about the Bugattis is they are a little bit ostentatious, but they're not like over the top like a Pagani, right? Like Bugatti's got like everything is shiny.
Yeah,
and
it's a lot.
I mean, that's really cool for Bugatti because that really fits their ethos and design language, but it's not what I want. I want something that is, you know, it feels like everything is going to be high quality. It's going to be functional. It's got, you know, it's got the backbones of a Volkswagen in it, right? So I mean, it comes from that. Yeah. So it actually works, but there's no shiny black plastic. You know, it's metal and buttons and screens of everything that you kind of really need without kind of just being over the top. Everything you touch is nice. It's got a lot of interesting, unique touches, and obviously the build quality is second to none.
I honestly, I was kind of on the fence with Bugatti because I'd already picked an engine from Bugatti. Right. And I really actually love like the new Tourbillon's interior too. I was like, I can't just pick two things from one car. That's ridiculous. But I mean, they do a great job.
Oh, they do a great job.
Do a fantastic.
And the reason I didn't choose the Tourbillon's interior is for that steering wheel.
Yeah, throws you off.
It throws you off because I think it's really interesting, but I don't think I'd want it in a driver's car.
I totally understand that. Yeah.
So I think I went with a little bit more basic with the Chiron Super Sport, which
makes sense.
Feels really weird calling the Chiron Super Sport basic, but in this instance,
I feel that. Great pick.
Yeah, thank you.
Hard to go wrong with a French interior, honestly. I mean, everything's right where you need it to be.
Yeah, beautiful.
But Bugatti does a great job.
Yeah, but it's like a German French, so like,
yeah, right.
You know,
they got it sorted.
They got it sorted for the Frenchies, yeah.
All right. So wrapping up our $6 billion cars is styling, ever important, and this one I really struggled with a little bit.
You can see mine is crossed out.
Yeah, I just went back and forth between like 4 different styling directions, and I ended up on a brand actually I had not thought I would, and that's because it is not like the go-to brand for styling typically.
Toyota Sienna?
No. Not a Toyota. Not really a fan of their styling in general, but this is a supercar maker.
Okay.
But they traditionally make smaller cars, actually. But they released an electric supercar that I think would be so incredible if they just put a naturally aspirated engine in it. And that is the Lotus Evija.
Ooh.
And there is nothing better than looking at that Lotus from the back. I have a feeling Gregory agrees with me.
Somewhat. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I mean, I think that the Lotus has all those like necessary supercar elements, but it's not too over the top. So I know decades down the road, after I've spent the $6 billion building this car, I'm not going to look back and be like, oh man, all this stuff is really dated.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I love the back end of that car. It's just fantastic.
I mean, it does look phenomenal, and I think everything that you've put into it would just make it like the most outstanding vehicle. Yeah. Just because, you know, instead of seeing an Evija whoosh by, you hear it roar by. With a V16.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the thing would just be like unbelievable. Yeah. And with that interior, which is way better than the Lotus interior, I mean, just is going to be something to behold. Awesome. So, I mean, that's a really good choice. It's so good that I chose, you know, there was a company that said, hey, we're going to take the bones of the Evija and we're going to put a more beautiful body on it.
Oh, more beautiful.
Yeah, more beautiful. Yeah. So, of course, I'm talking about the Pininfarina Battista.
Yes, that was a really close second pick, actually.
I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Like, I mean, the Evija does not look bad, so I'm not poo-pooing Jordan's pick. But like Pininfarina just gave it their own special, like, je ne sais quoi.
That's what they do.
That's what they do, and just give it their own little bit of a twist, and just like traditional supercar meets like modern hypercar, and it is just a phenomenal thing to behold. And I just could not think of a better body to wrap everything that I put together in. And it's gonna like it like just gobsmacks me.
Oh,
Like, I mean, this car is just, I really wish someone would build it. I can never afford it, but I just want to see it.
Yes, the Batista is a beautiful
Yeah,
car.
it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh,
Good pick.
thank you.
Yeah, solid. There you go. We have two fantastic cars
I
here.
know.
And I'm not giving you mine.
Nope, you're not getting mine either.
A little opposite from last time. Well, we would love to know what your picks would be for this.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys would build for a $6 billion car. We'd be really interested to see what someone who doesn't think like our hive mind thinks.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of come out of left field maybe and see what we would get.
Yeah, maybe you've built your supercharged minivan
There you go.
of the future.
Or just ordered a Toyota Previa.
Either way.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed our episode.
Thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us on The Driver's Line.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss a thing.